Just 3 years ago, the Detroit Lions completed their notorious 0-16 season. It was time to clean house. They hired a new coach, drafted a new quarterback and stud receiver, and filled their roster with good young talent. We flash forward to 2011. The Lions have a chance to clinch their first playoff berth in over a decade. Chargers are playing for their season, so the Lions would have their hands full. We go to the first quarter. Lions opening drive ends with this 7-yard pass from Matthew Stafford to tight end Brandon Pettigrew. 7-0 Lions early. To the second quarter now. Stafford again, this time little play action, then he tosses it right back to the man he just faked it to, Kevin Smith, for the score. 17-0 Lions. Time running out in the half now, and it wouldn't be Lions highlights without this man, Calvin Johnson, with his team record tying 15th touchdown of the season. Lions up 24-0 at the half. Chargers cut it to a 14-point game, but back come the Lions. Smith, this time from 6 yards out. That puts the lead back to 21. Last prayer for the Chargers now. Watch Cliff Averill. The amazing one-handed interception off Phillip Rivers. He scores, and the Detroit Lions, Hubert, this gives me great pleasure, are headed to the playoffs for the first time in 12 years.
All right.
You know, I'm just happy to be a part of it, and glad I got to share it with the guys. You know, in the locker room, they're a great bunch of guys, and it's just fun to be a part of.
There's going to come a time that we don't celebrate going to the playoffs or getting into the playoffs, but it's not going to be tonight. You know, my kids have that little application to find out where Santa is. He was at Ford Field tonight.
Bengals now. Head coach Marvin Lewis, he's got plenty to prove. First quarter, Cardinals quarterback John Skelton overthrows Andre Roberts. Ray Maluga is there to get to interception at the 23. That set up a field goal. Still in the first quarter now, Andy Dalton, he escapes the pocket and finds Jermaine Gresham for the touchdown right there. 10-0 Bengals. Still to the second quarter now. Dalton finds Jerome Simpson across the middle of the field right there. Now watch this, ladies and gentlemen. He does a complete front flip right over Cardinals linebacker Darrell Washington. That made it 17-0 Bengals. We got to see it again because he's about to stick the landing. I'm going to give him a 10, Hubert.
Indeed, yes.
Right there. That is a thing of beauty. Cardinals are trying to make it a game, but they would run out of time after this completion to the middle of the field. Bengals hold on to win 23-16, and with the Jets loss, they move into the second wild card spot in the AFC. Cleveland at Baltimore now. Seneca Wallace getting the start. Browns down 20-0. Ravens led them back into the game. They punt it to Josh Cribbs, and you already know what he's going to do. He does the rest. 84 yards to the house. That would cut the lead from 20-0 to 20-7. Browns got some hope. To the fourth quarter now, same score. Wallace rolling out. He finds Evan Moore. There he is right there in the corner of the end zone. Nice catch. Moore, that's good for 6. But the Browns season in a nutshell right here. They hold the Ravens to a 4th down. Philip Taylor jumps off sides and gives the Ravens the first down. That seals the game. Browns fall to 4-11. They lose 20-14. Some bad news here. Sources say that Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson has torn his ACL and MCL after a direct hit to his knee from safety Deshaun Gomes. Look away if you're squeamish here. Peterson was carted off the field during the Vikings' 33-26 win. Obviously didn't return. And with his injury history, you got to wonder what the future is for the all-star running back. St. Louis at Pittsburgh now. Steeler without Finley's Ben Roethlisberger. It didn't matter today, though, as you just saw the score there. Charlie Batch filling in. He evades the sack and hits running back Rashard Mendenhall down the sidelines. That would turn into a 34-yard gain. This would help set up a 21-yard field goal by former BG Falcon Sean Swisham for a 3-0 Pittsburgh lead. Swisham would add a 49-yarder later in the game to help the Steelers beat up the Rams 27-0. Tampa Bay at Carolina now. You might be wondering why we're showing you these highlights. Cam Newton entered the game needing 18 yards to break the rookie passing record of Peyton Manning of 3,739 yards, and that record was taken care of early. Newton hooks up with wide receiver Brandon LaFell, a 91-yard touchdown pass with a nice block from Steve Smith there at the end. Newton ended up with 171 yards passing, but that was enough to get him the record, and Panthers would win the game in a rout 48-16.